Welcome to the 7th video in a series that details my attempt to complete two of the most prestigious bicycle races in South Africa, the Cape Epic Mountain Bike Stage Race and the Cape Town Cycle Tour. The Cape Town Cycle Tour is a 109-kilometer road race around the beautiful peninsula south of Cape Town. I realized during my participation in the Cape Town Cycle Tour that there are so many great aspects of the race that I would like to share that I would not be able to include everything in one short little video. For this reason, I have created shorter, smaller, manageable videos to share my experience. In the preceding 6 videos, I described my journey to the start line and the route from the city center to the False Bay coast. Fishhoek is the 4th in a series of historical villages along the False Bay coast after Muizenberg, St. James and Kalk Bay. In this video we start with the exit from Kalk Bay and then make our way down to the historical seaside village of Fishhoek, which is along the False Bay coast. So this is the town of Fishhoek. Fishhoek is again a coastal town. The hook part of Fishhoek means fish corner. It derives its name from the Dutch word for fish corner. And it's essentially just a little bay, really pretty. It's not quite as touristic as maybe Muizenberg, Kalk Bay and St. James. It feels more like a functioning town with some real amenities available, but at the same time still very pretty. The beaches are just spectacular. You can see this amazingly beautiful beach. There's a restaurant that you can buy some food and drinks right on the beach, and there's a lovely catwalk, and you can walk for about 2 kilometers along the beach, just completely pure white sand and just beautiful. I think for me this town is memorable in that there's 2 main aspects that I remember. One is that I think this is still the only town in South Africa that is completely alcohol free in terms of there's no liquor sales allowed here. Until recently, Fishhoek was a dry town as alcohol sales were not permitted, as per the original landowner's request. Fortunately, this has changed in recent years, and now you are able to pick a bottle of your favorite wine in the local bottle stores. The other thing that I recall was that there was a lady, a swimmer, I think she was in her 80s, once again I can be corrected, and she would swim from the catwalk on that side all the way across the bay to the end of the bay on the opposite side. And she would do that every morning. She said she was not afraid of the shark. If anything did have to happen to her, she would prefer that that's the way she actually leaves this earth. One fateful morning in the early 2000s, she was taken by one of the great whites. So the great whites are definitely a feature of this town. False Bay at one stage had many great whites, and you may have seen some of them on the National Geographic videos where they have these air sharks that jump out of the water. And that is at an island called Seal Island, which is somewhere in the mist across the bay. Can't see it now, and it's usually better viewed from a different angle. But yeah, great whites, and that's why you'll see there's lots of references to great whites. At the back of me, they are what they call the trek fishermen or pool fishermen. They have nets that they cast into the bay. Trek fishing is a fishing technique in which a non-motorized paddle boat is used to set a long line net across the bay when a shoal of fish is identified. Once the shoal is encircled, the net is then hauled in by 2 groups of fishermen that pull the net in from either side. This subsistence form of fishing is threatened by regulations intended to protect the beach ecosystem and by the intense competition from large trawlers that have significantly reduced the fish resources in the False Bay. It doesn't look like they came up with anything good today. The nets all were empty. Maybe it's a sign of COVID. Even the fish are taking a bit of a break. Yeah. So by this time, this is about 10 kilometers down from Muizenberg, so you are going to be still really riding really fast at this point. I don't think you're going to have much chance to look at the scenery.
The front riders of the cycle tour will pass through the town of Fishhoek, chasing the 1,200-meter long Strava segment called the Fishhoek Flyby in excess of 58 kilometers per hour and in about 74 seconds. So if you are either chasing segments or just trying to stay rubber side down in the Cape Town cycle tour, you are unlikely to notice the beauty of this region. Therefore, you are invited to return to Fishhoek after the race and spend time exploring its beautiful beaches.
So I just want to show you some of the scenery in case you haven't had a chance to see it. If you haven't seen it, it's really worthwhile coming back to actually spend some time having a look at this beautiful town. From here, the next town is going to be Simonstown. I'm just going to try and see if I can get a bit of footage of the little place of Glencairn, which is just in between. I think you have to keep in mind that there are cut-off points for those riders that are just trying to finish within the 7-hour limits. There are cut-off points at Glencairn, and just make sure you are familiar with the cut-off times and make sure you get through safely. Okay, so the next time I see you will be in Simonstown, and we'll have a look at that beautiful city.
Join us in the 8th video as we proceed to the historical town of Simonstown, which is the next landmark along the coast that you will encounter while riding the Cape Town cycle tour. Let me know in the comments as to which is your favorite historical town along the False Bay coast and what your experience of that town has been. If you enjoyed this video, please press the like button. If you would like to see future videos of the Cape Town cycle tour and related cycling activities, please subscribe to this channel. Until the next time, cheers.